If you're handicapping NFL preseason the same way you handicap the regular season, you're making a major mistake. Preseason football is a completely different betting environment, and Week 3 may be the most interesting part of the entire preseason. Coaches are making final evaluations, roster spots are on the line, and playing time can look completely different from what you'll see once the regular season begins. At Pappy's Playbook, the first thing I'm looking at is quarterback rotation. The starting quarterback might only play a series, a quarter, or sometimes not at all. So simply asking which team has the better starting quarterback doesn't tell us very much. I want to know who is playing in the second half. Who is the backup quarterback? Who is the third quarterback? How much experience do they have? And how does that quarterback depth compare to the other sideline? A preseason game that looks even when the starters are on the field can become completely different once the backups take over. The next thing I'm evaluating is coaching intent. Not every coach approaches the preseason the same way. Some coaches are aggressive. They want to establish momentum, evaluate players in competitive situations. And sometimes they're much more willing to play to win. Other coaches are primarily evaluating personnel and couldn't care less about the final score. That matters when you're betting a preseason point spread. Then I look at roster battles. Week 3 is extremely important for players fighting for final roster spots. That can mean extended playing time for certain running backs, receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, and offensive linemen. And this is where depth becomes extremely important. The team with the better starters isn't necessarily the team with the better preseason roster. I'm looking for which team has the stronger second and third units, especially along the offensive line and at quarterback. Because in a lot of these games, the wager is going to be decided in the fourth quarter by players who won't be starting once the regular season begins. I'm also paying attention to offensive line depth. A backup quarterback can look completely different depending on the protection in front of him. If one team is playing inexperienced offensive linemen against a deeper defensive front, that can create sacks, turnovers, bad field position, and stalled drives. Then I look at motivation and game script. Is a coach trying to get his offense into rhythm before Week 1? Does a team have a quarterback competition? Are there multiple roster spots still undecided? Is one team planning to sit almost every established starter while the opponent is giving key players significant snaps? Those are the types of details that can create value in the preseason. And finally, I come back to the betting number. Even if I like a team, I still need the right price. A team I like at -1.5 may not be worth betting at -3.5. The handicap and the betting line have to work together. That's one of the biggest things you'll see from Pappy's Playbook this football season. I'm not going to force a wager just because there are games on the schedule. If the matchup, coaching situation, personnel, and price all line up, then we have something worth betting. If they don't, I'll pass. Preseason football requires more digging than simply looking at the depth chart or the team logo. You need to know who is actually playing, when they're playing, and who is coaching them, and which side has the advantage when the starters leave the field. That's exactly how I'll be attacking NFL Preseason Week 3. Follow Pappy's Playbook throughout the football season for NFL and college football betting analysis, official picks, and documented results.